You know what, y'all? With an episode of such epic magnitude at our forefront right here this evening, tonight, this morning, whenever you're watching this, we can't even wait until after the intro to start the celebration up in this joint. Let's pop some bottles. Let's take a little sip of the caramel bubbly. Yes, sirs. Yes, ma'ams. Here we go here. Getting swifty, cause it's episode 50. Bang your head to the opening riff day. God damn. Think I got more of the caramel bubbly on my shirt than I did in my mouth. But that's alright. Bullet Club know how to take a licking and keep on ticking. Just like the real rush. What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub and welcome to episode 50 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. That's right. You heard it correctly in the intro and you heard it correctly a couple seconds ago. This is episode 50. That's 50, man. We closing in on the year anniversary of The Real Rush. That's right. Tune in 2 weeks time. And we gonna be celebrating 1 year of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. But for right now, shit, kicking it off. Episode 50. It wasn't even that long ago that a lot of people, maybe myself even included, didn't even think that The Real Rush was gonna last 5 episodes, let alone 50. That's some golden shit, y'all. But here he is. 50 episodes deep. And what we got in store for y'all here on episode 50 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Well, last episode, episode 49, I had mentioned that there were 4, possibly 5 new movies that I would have reviewed for y'all this week. Did I deliver on that? I delivered on that. And on the possibly then some. That's right. So we got 5 new movies reviewed for y'all this weekend right here. And the question that remains at hand is exactly which new release do I want to kick things off here on this week's episode 50's Real Rush Ticket. What we gonna kick? What we gonna get on down to brass tacks with? We gonna kick things off with either A, the new advanced review of Downton Abbey, or is it gonna be B, Hustlers? Another hot new drop that everyone wants to know about. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna keep the good people in waiting. Let's go ahead and kick things off with the advanced review. The movie doesn't even drop till next week, but we saw it. A whole bunch of people saw it because it was a packed house at the Angelica Thursday night when we went to go see it. We're going to kick things off with the advanced review. Downton Abbey right here. Episode 50 of The Real Rush. So, Downton Abbey, as many may know, or as many may not be aware of, there was a bit of a TV series that this is a not only based on, but a continuation of. Yeah, little known TV series. You know, it might have gotten an Emmy or 2 or some shit like that. You know, I never know. I've heard of it. I had heard of it. But the key thing about this is, even though I had heard of the TV series going into the movie, your boy had never seen a single episode going in. Now your boy likes to do his research. That's a lot to catch up on. So I figured, you know what? Just go ahead, go in blind, see how it happens. I picked the Angelica to go see it because I knew the type of audience that the Angelica was going to have there. They were going to be very versed. More than likely, we're going to be very devout fans, very close followers, close watchers of the show. So maybe your boy would be able to pick up a little bit of chatter on what's going on before the movie and might be able to catch me up on exactly what's going on here. But this provided me with being a perfect test subject on seeing just whether or not this movie can stand on its own without having any reference to the TV show or whatnot. So, let's get on down to the brass tacks of Downton Abbey. Now, this being an advanced screening. Okay, so first off, I do want to let you know that they provided a really well-detailed, roughly about 10-minute intro prior to the movie, normally where they would be playing the trailers, that provided well insight into the storyline from beginning to finish of the TV series itself, as well as all the characters in the movie, as many that made it from the TV series that actually appeared in the movie itself. Did a really good job of explaining it, laying it all out without rushing it and making you feel too overwhelmed about, like, well, going into the movie, I still don't know who like half these people are. So kudos on the studio for providing that. I did hear, word around the campfire is that they're only doing that for the advanced screening. So come this Thursday or officially this Friday when it officially goes wide, chances are it looks like you're not going to have that intro. So you may just want to do a little bit of research if you have not seen the TV show going into it. I think that you'll be okay if you go into it not knowing. If they hadn't provided the intro, would I have been able to pick up on what was going on in the movie? It might have taken about 20 minutes to fully warm up, but that might not be the case for everybody. So you might want to, look up like an online, like, as non-spoiler as possible Cliff Notes version of Downton Abbey before you go walking into this. So, that's your prep for Downton Abbey. Now let's get to the movie itself. So, as I stated a couple moments ago, this is a continuation of the highly acclaimed, critically acclaimed, highly acclaimed TV series that people were just in love with for so many years. You couldn't get online without people ranting and raving about this joint. So, this is a continuation of the story. And this follows the residents and the servants of Downton Abbey. You have the Granthams, and they find out that they have received word that the King and Queen of England, they're going to be coming through, and they're going to be setting a spell at Downton Abbey. So, of course, there's a lot to be done. How would you feel? Now, this takes place in 1927. How would you feel nowadays, or in 2027 or 2007, that you find out that your Royal Highness is going to come stay at your crib for a couple days, right? Yeah, you gotta make sure that place looks spotless. Gotta make sure that joint look regal, right? So the servants and everybody, they're getting to work. But things, there's a little bit of trouble, arises since, we have royalty coming through Downton Abbey. That means that the royal servants are going to follow suit. And they clash with the actual servants of Downton Abbey, leading to some dramatic and sometimes hilarious moments. So that's the main plot line of that. How's that all going to play out? But aside from that, you do have your side stories going on. And from what I could tell, from what people were, the chatter from the audience before and after the movie, that it did feel like an extended episode of Downton Abbey. You got story arcs. You got further character development going on. You got more storylines development that may or may not lead to either another Downton Abbey movie or maybe not necessarily a reboot, but a continuation of the series. May or may not. I'm not going to spoil that for you. So, how's the movie itself? Does it stand on its own as a standalone movie? If you have never seen the TV series before, or if you've never even heard of the TV series before, will you be able to get through this movie? I think, honestly, yes. Like I stated a couple moments ago, we'll let it warm up to you for about the first 15-20 minutes. Or, even better yet, go with a friend who's very versed in the movie itself, or in the TV series itself. Have them explain things to you, and you'll be okay. But the performances in it are all great. You got, the storyline, the like I said, the character development, the wit in it. It's all sharp, and it's intriguing enough. It's entertaining enough that if you haven't seen the show, you're gonna walk away a convert. Now I want to watch this show. Mind you, not only had I not seen an episode before, but in quite all honesty, I had never really had much interest in watching it before this past Thursday. But now, your boy's interest is piqued, and the movie is solid. Solid as a rock. Cause that's what this film is. And it also helped, like I said, your boy knows how to pick the audiences. Now, there were a couple theaters that were showing Downton Abbey as a limited special engagement advanced screening on Thursday night. A lot of chain theaters were doing it. I found out later on that Hoyt's would be showing this as well. It would have made it a little bit easier if I could get over to Hoyt's and then go right into Hustlers after that. But nah, I needed to make sure that I was around the right crowd. Hence why I picked the Angelica. Like I said, I knew going in that there were going to be a lot of devout followers of the show at the Angelica. Lo and behold, I ended up sitting right next, like I said, pretty packed house, almost sold out. It wasn't sold out. You know what was sold out on Thursday? Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice. That's exactly what we were going to originally see on Thursday, but since that was sold out, let's go ahead and get Downton Abbey on the ticket, right? So I had the luxurious luckiness, I should say, of sitting next to this really cool older couple. Shelly and Art, if you guys are watching, thank you for tuning in. It was a joy talking and sitting next to you the other evening. I got a chance to sit next to Shelly and Art. Really big fans of the show. We're looking forward to the movie. I got to chat with them before the movie. They sat there and, got a chance, for about 5 minutes to give me the gist of, kind of catch me up on what happened in the show and who some of the major characters might be. We didn't know that there was going to be some type of intro that was going to provide that to us, that was going to catch everybody in the theater up. But they were just really cool people, down to earth, to converse with before and after the movie. After the movie, I got a chance to converse with Shelly and Art and ask them, their thoughts on, since they were such close followers of the show, like, how do they feel about it being a standalone adaptation, going from the TV series to the movie? How did it bring any type of closure? Did it feel rushed? Did it feel like a true part or continuation of the TV series, so on and so forth? And they had nothing but great things to say about it. They felt like the same thing as I said, and the same thing that the rest of the audience kind of said that evening as well, is that it did feel like a true extended episode. They didn't feel like any of the storylines were rushed or put in place for just dramatic effect, just for the sheer fact of making it bigger, better, badder for the screen or anything of that sort. But in a sense, as you have your followers of your Marvel movies or your Star Wars movies or any other TV show that might have been converted into a movie at some point, this actually turns Downton Abbey into a true cinematic event, because you have the people in the audience who were such close watchers of the show that when certain people appeared on screen or when certain things happened, they're hooting and hollering and cheering at the screen, and it made the movie that much better, just being surrounded in the correct environment. So Shelly and Art loved it. I loved it. So you got two people who were fans of the show and the whole audience who loved it. And then you got me, who had never seen anything and had no idea what anything was about, walking away loving it. So overall, I think that this is going to be not necessarily a sleeper hit, but definitely one to keep on your radar. If you've had any interest in the show, or you just want to see something different for a change. I don't know exactly how else to put it. After seeing the trailers for so many months, it just kind of became one of those things like, let's go ahead and get this movie over with. But now I kind of look back on it, it's like, I wish I could have relished that just a little bit more. I actually wouldn't mind seeing it again. So, if you are a fan of the show, hands down, you are going to love this. This is a must-see for you when it comes out officially next weekend or this coming weekend. If you haven't seen the show, go give it a chance. Go give it a chance, and I think you'll walk away pleasantly surprised. So, Downton Abbey, going to be opening in theaters everywhere, officially starting this coming Friday, but of course you got Thursday night screenings. Yes, Downton Abbey. Check it out, y'all. And I think you'll be, I think you'll be impressed. I think you'll be impressed. I was impressed. Shelley and Art were impressed. Everybody was impressed. Nobody walked away disappointed. And that's key right there. So Downton Abbey opens everywhere this weekend. This coming weekend, that is. Not this weekend right here. If you can find a showing, go for it. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. Let's move right along to what's next up on this episode of Real Rush Ticket. And let's go kick things off with the next hot release. This one actually did come out this weekend, and we saw this after Downton Abbey on Thursday night. I am talking about the new crime, comedy, drama, thriller, Hustlers. And then Hustlers, it stars Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, you got Keke Palmer, Cardi B shows up in it, Lizzo, Lily Reinhart, Julia Stiles, Mercedes Rules up in it. And this is based on the true story of what happened roughly a little bit over 10 years ago. It's a strip club up in New York City. And it's a high-rolling strip club. You got, high-priced businessmen, high-rolling ballers coming up in there. Yeah, the type of motherfuckers that come up in there, just drop like 10, 20,000 on, having ass shaking in the face all night and not even break a sweat because they gonna make back that and then some the next motherfucking day, right? Well, 2008, 2009, economic crisis happens, country goes into recession, and all that money that ain't made for spending no more, people trying to be saving that dime. So, of course, this dries up, the clientele at the strip club where Constance Wu and J-Lo's characters are working at, right? So in order to make ends meet, come with a little bit of side hustle. They can still work at the club, but what they're going to do is they're going to Mickey up these dudes. Obviously, against their knowledge. So that way they can get them good and feeling fucked up. Just good enough to where they're still spending money, but not too fucked up because you do want them to still be somewhat sober enough to sign the check at the end of the night. Get that X on the check, baby. They got it all planned out, too. They got it in with the club owners, so that way nobody's the wiser. Everybody's getting their cut. And by the time that, dude wakes up the next morning with his head feeling 10 sizes too big and go to look at the bill, money's gone. What they gonna say? Like J-Lo said in the trailer, come help, I spent too motherfucking much at a strip club. Now the premise of this movie, and it's based on a true story, right? Sounds pretty intriguing. I will admit, first time I saw this trailer, like, that could be hit or miss. I'm not really sure about this one. And of course, that's that initial bias that sets in. Everybody does it. I try not to do it, but it happens. More and more I saw the trailer, and I only saw the same trailer for this movie. More and more I saw the trailer. It started piquing my interest. More and more and more. Like, alright, instead of let's get this over with, let's go see some Hustlers. This kind of get me pumped up. Then, fast forward to about early last week, all of a sudden there's potential Oscar buzz surrounding Jennifer Lopez's character and her performance in this shit? What? Now we gotta see this joint. Not only do we gotta see this, we're gonna go ahead and try to make this our Thursday night main event, which actually is exactly what we did. So all that hype surrounding Hustlers and all that Oscar buzz surrounding J-Lo's performance in this, does it actually come to fruition? And I say hell yeah, and then some. This movie, Hustlers, has such a Scorsese vibe and feel to it. At points, I almost thought that Scorsese had a hand in it. Either he was behind the camera at some point, or he produced it, or even wrote it, or maybe even like Maybe he even grabbed the camera and let him do like some guest cinematography or some shit at some point. It had that kind of feel to it, down to the soundtrack and like the overlaying narration of the movie, and the camera work. Very Scorsese-ish, without being directed by Martin Scorsese. This is actually directed by Lorene Scafaria. I do hope I pronounced your name correctly, lady. If I did not, I do apologize. She did direct Seeking a Friend for the End of the World a couple years ago, which in my eyes was an outstanding piece of work. And this is produced by Will Ferrell and Adam McKay's Gary/Gloria Sanchez Productions. So in that sense, it almost kind of has a little bit of a Big Short / Vice feel to it as well. So, Scorsese feel to it. The crime, the thrills, and the laughs, and the dramatics in it, all really well done. The performances in it are also all well done. And let's get down to J-Lo's performance in it. Not only, now I do see where the potential Oscar buzz is coming in. Not only is this, hands down, the best performance of her career thus far, but when you see the force and the magnitude that J-Lo brings to the screen in Hustlers, it's almost as if she either A, channeled her inner Robert De Niro, or B, as if she got possessed by Robert De Niro at certain points without making this movie. And the man ain't even dead yet. Like, she goes that hard in it. And yeah, Hustlers is, you want to talk about your sleeper out of nowhere like a goddamn RKO from Randall Keith Orton. That kind of hit. That's what you got in Hustlers right now. I don't think that anybody saw this coming out of nowhere and being not only a great story to tell, but I totally see this, excuse me, running away at the box office this weekend and posing quite the contention for It Chapter 2. So that being said, Hustlers, absolutely well done, my friends. Y'all want to go see Hustlers? Yup. Everybody been saying, because this is the one movie that came out this week that everybody wants to know about, that a lot of people are kind of on the fence just given the subject matter in it. But the great thing about this movie is that it doesn't over rely on the whole stripper part to, make it a good movie. That's actually like a back burner plot to the whole thing. This is more or less like Wolf of Wall Street meets Showgirls or Striptease or any other shitty 90s movie about stripping. I've actually never seen either strip girls or Showtease. I've never even seen Showgirls and or Striptease. But I can tell you that I've heard enough about both of them to pretty much get the gist of what they're both about. And I did hear that neither of them are too hot, but I do still want to see them both at some point. So you would say that if you take a great movie like Wolf and something not so great like Showgirls and Striptease and mash them shits together and they have a baby and what pops out is Hustlers, then the end result would be something average right in the middle, right? No. This is definitely leaning more towards the Wolf of Wall Street spectrum. And if that is not a selling point to get your ass to see this movie, I don't know what is. But yeah, Hustlers, take it from your boy. And the few people that were in the audience Thursday night, like I said, I saw the late showing, so there was only like 5 of us, but all 5 of us thoroughly enjoyed it. I think you will as well. Hustlers, don't just keep it on your radar, get it on your CDAR, alright? Get it in your visual cortex. Go get you some. You will not be disappointed. Real good, real good, real good. Hustlers, playing everywhere, y'all. Go check that joint out. Now, since I got a little bit too happy with the caramel bubbly before we started this episode, let your boy get a little bit of hydration from good friends at Deer Park here. And ladies and gents, just like 20 years ago, when I worked this very theater and walked these very halls, as you can see, theater's closing up for the night. And just like 20 years ago, last one standing, baby. Last one leaving. Back to the rush. Ah, that's good. That's some good agua. Can't be all caramel and caffeine all the time, y'all. Good Lord. I take any more sip of that, I might actually just run over to your house and do these reviews before you, like, in person, and be able to do that before this camera even shuts off. There's been a lot of caffeine intake today. Okay, we did a Friday the 13th triple threat. All right, so let's go ahead and move along to the next. What's next up on the Real Rush ticket? What is next up on the Real Rush ticket? We gonna move along things to the Goldfinch. Now, the Goldfinch is based upon a critically acclaimed novel by Miss Donna Tartt, came out a couple years ago, and this is directed by John Crowley, who directed 2015's Brooklyn, which I love that movie, and it did not get a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars that year for nothing. So, you got that as a good lead-in. Now, the Goldfinch. This follows a man from teenage years to adulthood. And in his teenage years, played by Oaks Fegley, who did a wonderful job in Wonderstruck from a couple years ago. If you haven't checked that movie out, outstanding film. Follows him from teenage to adulthood, where he's played by Ansel Elgort. Baby driver. What's up, dude? Now, what had happened here is, as a teenager, he was involved in a bombing at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, where his mother was killed. Now, in the blast and in the confusion, you know, the disorientation and whatnot, he comes in possession of this priceless painting, the Goldfinch, that was thought lost or destroyed or possibly even stolen by somebody else in the explosion. So that means that nobody knows that he has it. But the fact that he has taken it, it has set off a whole another series of events that follow him from his teenage years into adulthood. How he takes up residence with a neighbor down the hall there, since, you know, his legal guardian father is nowhere to be found. He's off somewhere. So he gets taken in by Nicole Kidman and her family, gets raised by her, and tries to stay proper, but he still has this, you know, that guilt weighing on his mind. Not only is he in possession of something that is definitely not his, that nobody knows that he has, you know, does he do the right thing, you know, turn it into the proper channels or anything like that, but he's got that guilt weighing on his mind that if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have been at the museum that day, hence his mother would still be alive. So how does this all weigh down on him from teenage to adulthood? So in this movie, once again, you got Ansel Elgort, you got Oaks Fegley, you got Finn Wolfhard, you have Luke Wilson, Sarah Paulson, Nicole Kidman, Jeffrey Wright. A stacked cast in this joint to boot. So that alone should make this an amazing movie, right? Well, I personally thought that Goldfinch, decent. Pretty decent. Out of a 10, I would probably give it like a 6, 6.5. Would the average audience give it that? Probably not. And I can tell you why. This movie runs about 2.5 hours. It plays a lot on screen as if, like, for lack of a better term, and this is the best way that I could put it, as if like you're watching a visual audio book representation of the film. So it's, in that sense, it seems like a pretty accurate representation of a novelization on screen. That makes sense? Now, I haven't read the novel myself. I haven't read a novel in quite a long time, so there's a reason for that. But, I don't know, it just had that kind of like bookish feel to it that has been transposed on screen. However, with a lot of novels, you know, if you're not the literary type, your eyes can start to, you know, at a little bit at some point while you're either reading or while you're watching on the screen. So at a running time of 2.5 hours, I just felt like certain points could have been tightened up to where it wasn't too overly long. If they had just cut like maybe about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes out of it, made about a 2-hour movie, I think it would work much better for it. But don't let that take away from the movie itself. This is one of those movies where, like, if you do have the patience to keep up with what is going on the screen, eventually you do get to that refreshing, that closure climax. Whether or not it's a happy or a sad ending is irrelevant, but it is there. You just got to stick with it, and the payoff is pretty good at the very end, if you do ask so myself. But the selling point of this movie is the performances itself. The performances are all over the place, just all over the spectrum, and you don't have anybody failing on screen, for lack of a better term. Everybody's on point. Especially, I want to single out Luke Wilson and Sarah Paulson in this movie, because they're playing, at least in my eyes, completely against what they're widely known for in their character types. Just grimy, dirty, fucking, they make you really not like what they bring to the table. I mean, they make you like what they bring to the table performance-wise, but character-wise, yeah, grimy, dirty, rudas vatos, I say. Is that enough to save the movie? I'd say so. I would say go ahead and give Goldfinch a chance. Now, this is probably the movie that most, if any wide release this weekend, that most are on the fence about the most. I think it said that there was like a 20% rating at Rotten Tomatoes. First off, stop reading the goddamn Rotten Tomatoes on that shit, because we know that that cannot always be the most accurate representation. So, hear from the horse's mouth. Since I could put, you know, myself in other people's shoes. The average moviegoer, it's okay if you want to matinee this one, alright? Your boy's not going to be upset. Should this still be seen on the big screen? Yeah, I'd say still give it a chance on the big screen. Selling point, or better yet, would I buy this on Blu-ray when it does come time for that release? And I say, yes, I would. Would I pay full price for it? Probably not. I would wait for it to go on sale, but still decent enough to warrant a Blu-ray purchase. So keep that in mind. Just keep your patience about the movie. Keep in mind that it plays very much like a novel on screen, and if you keep that with you, I think that you will have no problems getting through the Goldfinch. It is most certainly worthy of seeing just for the performances alone. The Goldfinch, playing everywhere. Go check it out, y'all. And let your boy know what you thought about this, because I think that this one's, like I said, not only is it going to be the most on the fence, but I think it's going to be the most contested movie of this weekend. So let your boy know what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like. Type those on into the comments on his YouTube page where you are viewing this week's episode right here, and we shall converse about it rolling on. We'll keep that conversation rolling. So the Goldfinch, playing everywhere, y'all. Go check it out. Next up on this episode is Real Rush Ticket. Let's get on down to the documentary section of this episode. We saw 2 documentaries this weekend, and I want to kick this section off with Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice. Your boy was super stoked to go see this one for weeks. Ever since I saw the trailer, I'm like, yes, this is the joint that I need to go see. Because I already stated last week, I'm a sucker for music documentaries. Good or bad. And this one is definitely not bad. This is the story of Linda Ronstadt, and it's told in her own words via an interview from earlier this year, 2K19. And it's told from her words and through archival interviews and through interviews of other people that she's known in the business, Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris, Cameron Crowe, a lot of people that she's worked with in the past, Don Henley. And it's telling her story from her upbringing, childhood, and then achieving stardom, mega stardom, being one of actually the first woman to really achieve that mega rock stardom. At some point, someone in the movie says that she is what Beyonce is today? Nah. Like, Beyonce be here, but I'd have to put Linda Ronstadt here, yo. Because, I mean, she had hits on, like the Billboard, like, pop, rock, and country lists all at the same time. She was the first woman to ever do so, or first person to ever do so, I do believe. And that's, like, unseen, uneven heard of before. So, she's talking about her magnificent career, her megastardom, and how hard it was to achieve such megastardom in what was a male-dominated field at the time. You get to hear her feelings on that, leading all the way up to nowadays, where she's now, unfortunately, sadly suffering from Parkinson's, which has all but robbed her of that beautiful, beautiful voice that I grew up on. I was raised on the Ronstadt bitches. Whew. If you are, regardless if you are a music fan or not, this is such an inspirational story to be seen just on the sheer fact that, you know, this can be applicable to anything that you want to do in life, whatever your dream is. Especially if you have a dream and people are consistently telling you, no, you can't do that, no, you can't do this, but you want to go out and do it anyway, because you know that deep down in your heart that it is the right thing to do. This movie conveys the message on why it is all right that you go ahead and follow your dreams, yo. It's hard to pick a Real Rush pick of the week because we got so many good movies here. But we're going to go ahead and do it. Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, is this week's pick for Real Rush movie of the week. It's currently in limited release. I wish that something like this was in wider release, but then again, it is a CNN film, so more than likely, if, like they did with RBG last year, this will probably be shown on CNN later on this year, but no. Don't wait till this comes out on CNN. See this shit in the theater, because the way that the rich sound comes through the theater sound system, yes. This needs to be seen on the big screen, y'all. Whew. And I'm not letting my Ronstadt bias get to me, like, y'all. Like, if you are a music fan, you're gonna love this movie. Packed house at the Angelica when I saw this. So Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, is currently playing at the Angelica if you are in the DC metropolitan area. It's also playing at the landmark E Street Cinemas up in DC, once again if you're in the DC metropolitan area. But if you're not in the DC metropolitan area, get yourself on IMDb, get yourself on Fandango, whatever you use to find your showtimes. Check out Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice. Check it out immediately following this episode. I promise you will not be disappointed. Just one reviewer said that it'll make you fall in love with Linda all over again, and they are totally not wrong in that assessment. So go check that joint out. And moving right along to what is last on this episode's Real Rush ticket, we're moving things along with another inspiring documentary. This one's called Fiddler, A Miracle of Miracles. And this tells the origin story of how the now world-renowned famous play and movie Fiddler on the Roof came to be, from the inspirations that it had from the Tevier tales of yesteryears leading up to the formation of Fiddler on the Roof, and how what was going on in society at the time, because this came out in early 60s, so this was like right in like the height of what was going on with the civil rights movement and all that. So that tells the story of how like this all helped shape and mold the production that we now know as Fiddler on the Roof. And not only that, but how this became a cultural phenomenon, and not only how what was going on at the time helped inspire what we would see on stage and or on screen, but how that would in turn inspire the world as well. This was written, obviously this is, set in 1905 Eastern Europe, and it's widely known as a Jewish tale, But what a lot of people don't know about Fiddler on the Roof is that if you've had any struggles that in your life, it doesn't matter what race, creed, sex, what background you come from, just how much the tale of Fiddler on the Roof is relevant to everybody. Anybody from all walks of life can relate to Fiddler on the Roof. Not even depending on what kind of struggles you've had in your life, but just from any struggles that you've had in your life all around. And this tells how this is still relevant to these kind of times with what's going on in the world, with the whole border crisis and everything. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much because this also needs to be, this is also a good story to be told, because you wouldn't think of Fiddler on the Roof in that kind of sense. Now mind you, I've never seen a production of Fiddler on the Roof myself, neither stage nor screen. I know, but this makes me want to see it even more. Would it help going into this, having seen a production of that before? Yeah, to kind of get the gist of how you can apply that to the movie. But it doesn't hurt having not seen it, just to hear words of inspiration from they got interviews in there from people all over the world of playwrights. You got Stephen Sondheim in there. You got some of the original writers of the music and the lyrics for Fiddler on the Roof. You got some of the original cast members, such as like Austin Pendleton's up in it. You got Chaim Topol. I hope I pronounced your name right, sir, who played Tevier in the Fiddler on the Roof. The film adaptation, you got Norman Jewison up in it, talking about how he was hired to direct it, despite the fact that he was not a Jew, which is crazy because his last name is Jewison. Like, what? Norman Jewison is not a Jew? Even interview with Lin-Manuel Miranda and how that has influenced like what he does in the world of plays nowadays. So yeah. If you have a theater background, this is right up your alley. I instantly fell in love with it, having a theater background. But even if you're not versed in the theater, I think you'll love this movie as well, because just like the play itself, it's relatable on such an earthy and molecular level. To the point where after this movie, I got a chance to speak with another older couple, Linda and Jeff. How y'all doing? And Linda and I got to talking because she actually attended one of the original like 1965 productions of this, and she said that in this one on stage she got to see Bette Midler and Bert Convy as part of the cast and crew on that production. Like, wow, that takes me back. And we got she got to talking, and we got to talking about like how it is applicable to somebody, and she wanted to get like my perspective on it, on like had I ever been how I could relate to it, like how could this, how do I walk away from this documentary, how it might pertain to my upbringing. And I straight up told her, I was like, look, being a person of color, living in Prince William City 20 years ago, even nowadays, even sometimes you hear some not so nice words coming from some not so nice people. And that's something to deal with all the time. Racism is still a thing. And I told her, like, straight up, like, I've dealt with my share of shit that goes on nowadays. Nothing quite as tense as what was going on during the actual height of the Civil Rights Movement. But yeah, I definitely took this movie to heart just the same as she did. And we could relate on that. Then that brought us together. So that was really cool. So, we're totally relatable. Fiddler, A Miracle of Miracles. It is currently playing at Cinema Arts if you are in the DC metropolitan area. I'm not sure where else in the area this is playing, but regardless if you're in the area or not, check out your IMDb, check out your Fandango. Go get you some Fiddler, Miracle of Miracles. And same as Linda Ronstadt, to the sound of my voice, you will not walk away disappointed. You should walk away inspired. So go check that out, y'all. And that, my friends, is pretty much a wrap for episode 50 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. As you do know, it is at this time that I would like to remind y'all that this coming Friday is the 3rd Friday of September, which means it's Bandits time, baby. Friday, September 20th, up at the Stagecoach Theater Company, Ashburn, Virginia, 7:30. Come out, get your tickets, get your laugh on. Come see your boy performing with his bandits for some good improv action. Tickets are still available. $12 online, $15 at the door. As always, I'm not going to recommend that you wait till the door. You want to make sure that you get your tickets early, because if you go ahead and go online to get your tickets and use the promo code John in all caps, that's my name, don't wear it out. Or please wear it out, because if you wear it out online, you get yourself a discount, baby. And where can you go to get these tickets online? You may visit the website stagecoach.com/stagecoach-bandits. Once again, that is Stagecoach, T as in Thomas, C as in coach.com/stagecoach-bandits. Promo code John, all caps. Get your tickets. Come out. Have a good time with your peoples. And coming up next week on episode 51 of The Real Rush here on YouTube, going to have 2 new movies, unless something else pops up on the radar. We're going to have Ad Astra. Stoked about this one. Going to go see this up at the Airbus. They going to have it. So we'll be seeing it 6-story IMAX screen, y'all. And also, we have reviewed for you Rambo Last Blood. Oh, another childhood favorite of mine. Gonna come and fuck some more shit up on the screen, y'all. So, yo, looking forward to that. Plus, I do want to let you know, or remind you that, once again, Downton Abbey officially opens this coming weekend. Not the weekend that you're watching this joint right here, but the next one coming up. But I also want to let you know that Cinema Arts is holding a special event for charity on Tuesday, September 17th. Let's go ahead and pop that up on the Rushtron. Thank you very much there. Let's see. This is Variety DC's advanced charity screening of Downton Abbey. Once again, Tuesday, September 17th. Reception begins at 6:30. The screening beginning at 7:30. Adult tickets are $25. For seniors and kids, $20. They're encouraging people to come out in costume. There were a couple people out at the Angelica screening that were all suited and booted. Downton Abbey, you could tell that they were there to have themselves a good time. All proceeds to this show will go towards Variety, the children's charity. So it looks like an awesome event to come out to. I will not be at that, unfortunately, but it does look like something awesome. If you are a huge fan of the show, you want to get all dressed up, you want to come all suited and booted, and come out for a good cause, this is for you. What you can't see on screen here is that tickets can be purchased beforehand, either via visiting their Eventbrite page or by purchasing advance tickets through Cinema Arts through their website as well. And their website is www.cinemaartstheater.com. Once again, this is for the Cinema Arts Theater at Fair City Mall in Fairfax, Virginia, one of my independent fave theaters. www.cinemaartstheater.com. And once again, come out, have yourself a good time, watch a great movie, and have it be for an amazing cause, y'all. And enjoy yourselves. So that's all going on next weekend. But until then, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that that you want to holler and throw at your boy, please don't hesitate to go ahead and type those on in to the comment page, or the comments of the YouTube page where you're viewing this video right here, right now. If you have subscribed to the Real Rush on YouTube, thank you for doing so. If you haven't done so yet, what the hell are you waiting for? You want to be the first thing to know when your boy drops a new episode. And don't forget that the Real Rush does have replay value, y'all. It's not just for advanced reviews. So I know that a lot of y'all should be watching again next week for that review of Downton Abbey. Hey, if anybody who's looking forward to seeing that movie and didn't get a chance to catch the advanced screening, let them know. Let your peoples know that you know a man who has already reviewed it. But it's not just Downton Abbey. Any movie that has come out within the last year theatrically, if you want to know what your boy thought about it, all you gotta do is go up to the search bar there, type in quotation marks, The Real Rush, outside of quotation marks, followed by the movie title of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom! You got yourself an instant movie review from your boy on demand, because the Real Rush got you covered for life, son. And as always, you can follow your boy on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur, and that is at J-Dub Champion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, I am your boy J-Dub, ladies and gents. I want to thank y'all once again so wholeheartedly for tuning in, not just for this episode, for the preceding 49 episodes leading up to this point. Let's wish for 50 más! And remember, when you're at the movies, chill out, y'all. There's no reason to do all the yipping and the yapping and the chitting and the chatting and all that. You know, say the conversations. No need to be checking the phone and the time on the smartwatches. They're brightening up the room like it's sunlight. I guarantee you, any conversation, and even the time, all that, it's going to be waiting for you after the movie's all said and done. Enjoy yourselves at the movies, y'all. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. And